But who better than me?
Welcome back to another Base Talks. As always, please like and subscribe, share with a friend, a colleague, a relative, an associate, an enemy, any and all in between. As you guys know, technically I guess we're going to say yesterday, I was at the, what was it called? Knockout Chaos event in central London for Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. To put it mildly, both Joshua and Francis Ngannou, they did not stick around. They literally done their DAZN and their Queensbury conversations, and that was it. They both bounced. I guess they did their head-to-head or their like face-off thing or whatever a little bit earlier on in the day, and then done the presser, and then they jetted. There was a few other people that was in attendance. Lee Wood was in attendance. I was supposed to catch up with him. Unfortunately, he sort of went MIA, which happens, especially at these events. A lot of the major people pretty much ducked out as soon as the press conference finished, which isn't actually normal. They normally stick around, but yeah, a lot of them went. And even Eddie, Mr. 100 miles an hour, do every single interview, even he decided, I'm gonna just do huddles because like he just come back from Canada, Quebec, and he was, you could see in his face, he was trying to put on a brave one, but he was struggling. So shout out to him, shout out to Frank did a couple huddles as well. But I managed to get a couple interviews in. I did one with Frank Smith, and I did one with Dewey Cooper, who is Francis Ngannou's lead trainer for both MMA and boxing. And for the purpose of this, that is going to be the that's going to be the interview and the talks that we look at for this one. So without further ado, please enjoy, and let me know what you think afterwards. This is Base the Kid, the hardcore casual, and I'm delighted to be joined by former MMA and boxing superstar Dewey Cooper. Dewey, how are you feeling?
I'm great. We're blessed to be here in London, man. Things are well.
Now look, before we get into the festivities about tonight, the big important question is, when are you going to get into the Hall of Fame? When are they sorting out?
Well, I was already inducted in the Masters of Martial Arts Hall of Fame in 2008, so I'm not tripping on that, man. All I'm worried about is making my fighters, help them achieve their dreams and be the best we can be.
Okay, fair enough. So look, let's talk about this big event. It's Joshua versus Ngannou. You might think it's Ngannou versus Joshua. You might feel he deserves that billing. Now, look, with regards to this, it was fair to say almost everyone, the entire community, apart from yourself and your team, felt that Francis had no place in the in the boxing ring. He's a phenomenal, excellent, elite level MMA artist, but when it comes to boxing, different kettle of fish, different category. But Francis showed that no, I'm good enough to do both.
Yes.
Here's the question. Is it ever really logical to think that someone coming in on their first professional or even amateur boxing fight can do what he done to Tyson Fury, who's supposed to be lauded as the best that the boxing world has to offer?
It's definitely not logical, normal, or most times possible. But Francis is just different, guys. Every now and then you get that extraordinary person who can do extraordinary things, and that's what Francis is. He takes the impossible and makes it very probable.
With regards to that, so do you feel almost to a degree it's the fact that Francis is just so much better than people thought, or is it also just a bit of Francis being that good, but maybe Fury not being as good as people felt?
Yeah, a lot of people want to spin it that way because people hate being wrong. But I'm a fighter. I've pro box, kickbox, and MMA. When you have 30 minutes to prove a point, that's plenty of time for the truth and the reality to show. We'd have a different discussion if it was a 1-round fight or even a 3-round fight. But that was a 10-round fight. He had 10 rounds to prove he was superior over Francis Ngannou, and you've seen what happened. So it's impossible to underestimate someone that long. I understand people say, Fury didn't take him seriously. Well, after that first round, after that third round when he got knocked down, you don't think he started taking it serious? Of course he did. What happened that night is what happened between two men fighting. And Francis will continue to show his level on March 8th.
So with regards to that, he's about to take on Anthony Joshua, who a lot of people feel is one of the premier boxers of the world. Very technical.
100%.
He's a very professional guy. If Tyson Fury took Francis Ngannou lightly, Joshua definitely wouldn't. What are you preparing for? What do you have to sort of figure out in your, not only just your boxing tactics, but just like technique and everything to combat Joshua as opposed to what Fury delivered?
Well, first of all, Joshua is definitely one of the top 3 heavyweights in the world, period. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He's a 2-time heavyweight, undisputed world champion, etc., etc. He's great. But what he does is similar to what Francis does. He has a base style. He likes to throw his jab and land the big right hand. Well, guess what? Francis likes to throw his jab and land his big right or left hand. So it's going to be a great fight. Like I said up there, I expect the flaming fist of Francis to finish Joshua.
Fair enough. So with regards to the fight itself, I mean, Francis, this will be his second camp training exclusively for boxing, because obviously he's done striking, but striking is different to the two different codes. How much better can he get? Bearing in mind, obviously he is 37 going on 38 this year, but he looks still, he's in the peak of his physical fitness. But how much better can he get in the actual boxing arena?
That's what we're here to see. Even Francis, he talks about challenging himself, getting to the ultimate version of himself, and that's part of his motivation. The ceiling, to me, is vast and most likely unlimited. But one thing I can tell you tangibly for sure, he will improve from his first to his second fight, and it will be prevalent. So we're expecting an improved, better version of Francis against Anthony Joshua.
I appreciate your time. I won't keep you too much longer, but one question I do sort of want to ask you. So I know that prior to the Fury fight, Francis signed a big PFL deal, but obviously he's had a lot of success with the Fury fight. It's now transitioned into another fight, which could potentially transition into an undisputed fight if he were to win. I mean, what is now the deal with the PFL contract? Is he still looking to go back to MMA, or is he actually looking to stay in boxing more permanently?
Well, the thing is, I'm Francis's coach. I'm his striking coach in MMA. I'm his boxing coach in boxing. I'm not his manager, so whatever deal he's doing with PFL, that's between them. When he tells me who he's fighting, whether it's mixed martial arts or boxing, I do my best to help him prepare as best we can. He has said he plans on doing MMA and boxing. He's a man of his word. Until he changes that sentiment, I feel that's what it's going to be.
Fair enough. Very last one. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for speaking with me. Just tell the people why they should tune in on March the 8th.
Say again?
Just tell the people why they should tune in on March the 8th.
Because you guys didn't believe in Francis on October 28th against Tyson Fury. You guys didn't believe. He gave you a body of work. He gave you the introduction of Francis Ngannou in boxing. It was a compelling story. You know you liked it. He has a great adversary on March 8th in Anthony Joshua. One of the top 3 heavyweight boxers in this entire world. A strong, buff, hard-hitting guy from Nigeria/England. Francis Ngannou is a big, strong, buff African guy by way of France, by way of US. You can't get a better matchup, man. Power punching galore. You can't get a better matchup. You can't miss it. If you miss it, something's wrong with you.
Dewey, thank you very much for your time, man. Much appreciated. So, as you can see, Dewey Cooper very confident in his man. Also has pretty much stated that, you know, any excuses of Tyson Fury being undercooked for Francis Ngannou is bogus, because even if you did you know, get surprised by maybe how good he was, well, you're supposed to be the best in the world. You've got 30 minutes to adjust and make those adjustments. Now, I mean, look, remember I said that Fury won by a point, so I guess he did make those adjustments, but in some people's minds maybe he didn't. But now he says, well, look, Anthony Joshua, it's a much more even playing field. They both like to set up the jab and then the big right hand behind it, so they're pretty similar in tactics. So it's literally about who gets their strategy right on the night. And yeah, I pretty much agree with him, so I can't wait to see how that all unfolds. But we'll leave it there for now. There's a few other bits and pieces to talk about. We will cover that on Wednesday. But for right now, thank you very much for watching. And yeah, look out for the next Base Talks coming shortly.